Good day to everyone. I am Miss Sabrina Irinea and today I'll be discussing to you one of the topics on the book of Robert L. Mantis and John H. Hackson, Human Resource Management, 13th edition, Chapter 12, Incentive Plans and Executive Compensation. At the end of this topic, we will be able to define variable pay and identify three elements of successful pay for performance plans. Discuss three types of individual incentives. Identify key concerns that must be addressed when designing group or team variable pay plans. Discuss why profit sharing and employee stock ownership are common organizational incentive plans. Explain three ways that sales employees are typically compensated. And identify the components of executive compensation and discuss criticism of executive compensation levels. Pay for performance can be a part of total rewards. As discussed in the previous chapter of this book, more employers are moving towards system providing base pay for performance using matrices and other means, rather than just giving all workers a standard percentage increase in pay. If the question is whether people work harder because pay is tied to performance, the answer is yes. Tying pay to performance holds a promise that both employers and employees find attractive. For employees, it can mean more pay. For employers, it can mean more output per employee and therefore more productivity. However, it is much more difficult to design a successful variable pay or special incentive system than to simply pay employees a set hourly wage or salary. Variable pay programs are very popular, with more than 80% of the organizations using them. According to World What Work Annual Survey, the most widely used of these programs involve awards based on individual, unit, and organizational performance and success. Common types of variable pay programs are based on factors such as sales, customer service, productivity, attendance, safety, and executive incentives. Okay, let's have first variable incentives for performance. Variable pay. What is variable pay? When we say variable pay, it is a compensation linked to individual, group or team and or organizational performance. And what are some examples of incentives that can be given to those individual, group or team and organization? We have team bonus, price rate pay, perks, stock options, bonuses, impro share plan, escalon plan, service awards, trips, gain sharing, raise, commissions, profit sharing, monetary incentives, spot bonuses, merchandise, and recognition and reward program, which is very common in the Department of Education. Why do we use variable pay? Here are some assumptions why we are going or why we are using variable pay. Some people perform better and are more productive than others. Another reason is that better performing employees should be given or should receive more compensation. Next, total compensation should be tied directly to performance and results. And last, we have some jobs contribute more to organizational success than others. The employers need to develop an effective variable pay plans. So to develop such effective variable pay plans, they need to answer these questions. Does the plan fit the organization? It is because the success of any incentive pay programs relies on the consistency with the culture of the organization. For example, if an organization is autocratic and adheres to traditional rules and procedures, an incentive system that rewards flexibility and teamwork is likely to fail. In such a case, the incentive plan has been planted in the wrong growing environment. Does the plan reward appropriate actions? Variable pay systems should be tied as much as possible to desired performance. Employees must see a direct relationship between their efforts and their financial and non-financial rewards, as the HR perspective illustrates. Is the plan administered properly? A variable pay plan may be complex or simple, but it will be successful only if employees understand what they have to do to be rewarded. More complicated plan is more difficult it will be to communicate it meaningfully to employees. Experts generally recommend that a variable pay plan include several performance criteria, but having multiple areas of focus should not overly complicate the calculations necessary for employees to determine their own incentive amounts. Managers also need to be able to explain clearly what future performance targets need to be met and what rewards will be given. Next, we have developing successful pay for performance plans. Here are some reasons for pay for performance plans. First is that link strategic goals and employee performance. Reward and recognize employee performance, promote achievement of HR objectives, and enhance results and reward employees financially. Here are some metric options for variable pay plans. We have organizational performance. Under organizational performance, actual change versus planned change, revenue growth, return on investment, average employee, productivity change. For sales program, we have increase in market share, customer acquisition rate, growth of existing customer sales, and customer satisfaction. We also have the human resource related, employee satisfaction, turnover cost, absenteeism cost, workers' comp claims, and accident rates. Let us find out why variable pay plans fail. Here are some reasons. Plan incentives are not seen as desirable. Plan doesn't reward doing a good job. Plan doesn't motivate. Plan doesn't increase base pay. And plan rewards teams or groups rather than individuals. Some of us are afraid of failures. That is why we need to develop successful incentive plans, not just for the good of the organization, but also for the betterment of the employees working in the organization. Because if our employees are motivated, then we can expect a successful or productive organization. Here are some tips on how to develop successful incentive plans. First, we need to develop clear, understandable plans that are continually communicated. Next, we have use realistic performance measures. Next, we have keep plans current and linked to organizational objectives. Link results to payout that recognize differences and identify variable pay incentives separately from base pay. We have three categories of variable pay. First is that individual incentives. Individual incentives are given to reward the effort and performance of individuals. Some common means of providing individual variable pay are piece rate system, sales compensation, and individual bonuses. Others include special recognition rewards such as trips, or merchandise. However, with individual incentives, employees may focus on what is best for them personally, which may inhibit the performance of other individuals with whom they are competing. For this reason, in some situations, group or team incentives can be more appropriate. We have some examples of individual incentives. First is that piece rate system. The most basic individual incentive system are piece rate system. Under straight piece rate system, with which it says that pay system in which wages are determined by multiplying the number of units produced by the piece rate for the unit. Still under piece rate system, we have differential piece rate system, which pays employees one piece rate wage for units produced up to standards output and a higher piece rate wage for units produced over the standards. Another example of individual incentive is that bonuses. Individual employees may receive additional compensation in the form of bonus, which is one-time payment that does not become part of the employee's base pay. Individual bonuses are used at all levels in some firms and are most popular short-term incentive plan. Next, we have spot bonuses. It is a unique type of bonus. It is called spot bonus because it can be awarded at any time. Spot bonuses are given for a number of reasons, perhaps for extra time work, extra efforts, or an especially demanding project. For instance, a spot bonus may be given to an information technology employee who installed the computer software upgrade that required extensive time and effort. We also have special incentive program, such as performance awards, recognition awards, and service awards. One category of variable pay is the group or team incentive. The use of group or teams in an organization has implications for incentive compensation. Although the use of group or team has increased substantially in the past few years, the question of how to compensate their members equitably remains a significant challenge. Distribution of group or team incentives. Several decisions about how to distribute and allocate group or team rewards must be made. The two primary ways for distributing those rewards are as follows. We have same-size reward for each member, which means all members receive the same payout regardless of job level, current pay, seniority, or individual performance differences. Next, we have different sized reward for each member, which means employers may vary individual rewards depending on such factors such as contribution to the group or team results, current pay, years of experience, and skill levels of job performed. Types of group or team incentives. We have group team results. Pay plans for group or teams may reward all members equally on the basis of group output, cost savings, or quality improvement. Next is gain sharing. The system of sharing with employees greater than expected gains in profits and/or productivity is gain sharing, also called team sharing or goal sharing. The focus is to increase discretionary efforts, which are the differences between the maximum amount of effort a person can exert and the minimum amount of effort that person needs to exert to keep from being fired. Third and last variable pay is that organizational incentive. An organizational incentive system compensates all employees according to how well the organization as a whole performs during the year. Example of organizational incentives are profit sharing. So when we say profit sharing, from the name itself, distribute some portion of the organizational profits to employees. One research study found that profit-sharing plan in small firms can help to enhance employee commitment and increase job-related performances of individuals. The primary objective of profit-sharing plans can include the following: increase productivity and organizational performance, attract or retain employees, improve products or service quality, and enhance employee morale. Thus, profit sharing has its drawbacks. When used throughout an organization, including the lower level workers, profit sharing plans can have some drawbacks. First, employees must trust the management will disclose accurate financial and profit information. As business people know, both the definition and level of profit can depend on the accounting system used and on decision made. To the credible, management must be willing to disclose sufficient financial and profit information to alleviate the skepticism of employees, particularly if profit-sharing levels fall from those of previous years. Types of organizational incentives. We have employee stock plans. A stock plan option gives employee the right to purchase a fixed number of shares of company stock at a specific exercise price for a limited period of time. Next, employee stock ownership plans. Firms in many industries have an employee stock ownership plan or ESOP, which is designed to give employees significant stock ownership in their employers. Next, let's proceed to sales compensation. Types of sales compensation. Sales compensation plans can be of several types, depending on the degree to which a total compensation includes some variable pay tied to sales performance. A look at general types of sales compensation and some challenges to sales compensation follows. We have salary only. Some companies pay salespeople only a salary. The salary-only approach is useful when an organization emphasizes serving and retaining employees or existing accounts over generating new sales and accounts. Salary plus commission or bonuses, the form of sales compensation used most frequently in the salary plus commission, which combines the stability of a salary with the performance aspect of a commission. Sales effectiveness matrix. We have revenue growth, margin growth, new customer revenue, average sales revenue per salesperson, sales from new products, customer satisfaction, account retention, return on sales compensation, return on sales investment, increase in average sale, and control of sales expenses. We have executive compensation. Most organizations administer compensation for executives somewhat differently than compensation for other employees. An executive typically is someone in the top of two levels of an organization, such as chief executive officers, president, senior vice president, chief operating officer, executive vice president, chief financial officer, or senior human resource executive. We have elements of executive compensation. First is that executive salary. Salaries of executives may vary by the type of job, size of organization, the industry, and other factors. Perks are special benefits, usually non-cash items for executives. Many executives value the status enhancement for these visible symbols, which allow the executive to be seen as very important people, both inside and outside their organization. Long-term executive performance incentive, which ties executive compensation to the long-term growth and success of the organization. Here are some reasons or reasonableness of executive compensation. Would another company hire this person as an executive? Thus, the executive compensation compared with that for executives is similar. in the other companies? Is the executive's pay consistent with pay for other employees within the company? And what would an investor pay for the level of performance of the executive?
Thank you for listening, and I do hope you gained something from this discussion. Have a good day, everyone.